dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Mitchell Grog.
And I'm Callie Rainey, and today is Friday, November 6th.
Let's check in with meteorologist Chris Johnson for a look at your forecast this morning. Okay, Callie just said that she would wrestle a gator if she saw one at her front door.
But only because we were saying if it went for dogs.
Mitchell, you left out a key point
Yeah, I
in
would
that
just
story.
go after it.
You just made her sound like the Crocodile Dundee over here, okay? You left out a huge point there.
Yes.
I still stand by the fact that she would be willing to wrestle
Yes,
a gator.
if it was going for my dog. Yeah.
Unbelievable, Mitchell. Come on. Let's just go ahead and get into the forecast.
Okay.
Because I can't handle some of the things that you say. Over the next few days.
I can't handle some of the things you say either.
Well, and a lot of people are going to agree with you once I get done with this forecast, okay? This is going to be the last warm day we're going to enjoy. Temperature-wise, back into the mid-70s. Rain chance is expected to ramp up later on this afternoon, and the possibility for a strong storm going to be there, especially later on this afternoon into the first part of your evening. And, of course, in behind this cold front, exactly just that. Colder air going to settle in across the Commonwealth, and that's going to bring a chilly weekend for us here across the mountains. Now, live pinpoint Doppler showing you a line of showers with a few embedded thunderstorms working into the Lexington metro area, heading towards the I-75 corridor. So a heads up for folks there in Somerset and London. We're going to deal with some heavier rainfall here over the next hour or two, and that could directly impact your morning commute as you head out the door. Now, we zoom things out. Got high pressure anchored across the Carolinas. That's giving a nice southerly flow, pulling those winds in from the Gulf of Mexico. That's really feeding some of the shower and storm development we're seeing ahead of this cold front. That's going to provide some heavy rainfall across central and eastern parts of the state later on this morning and into the afternoon hours. Now, temperature-wise, it is a mild start, upper 60s and lower 70s across a good chunk of eastern Kentucky. And later on this afternoon, we eventually top out in the mid-70s for those highs as the rain becomes likely, along with the chance for a few thunderstorms as well. Nothing severe, but a strong storm certainly possible with some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about the rainfall amounts that we can expect along with that big weekend cool down coming up here in just a few minutes.
Chris, thanks. An evening hike turned into a frantic search Wednesday at the Breaks Interstate Park.
Rescuers say a couple got turned around, one falling off of a cliff. Park officials told WYMT's Alex Casper Peak they faced a dangerous situation.
It wasn't somebody blowing leaves or anything like that, and I thought, well, something going on outside.
Park officials got a call around 6:30 that evening.
2 hikers with potential injury that had become lost on our trails.
Immediately, a search began. Officials were able to talk with one of the hikers who let them know what to expect once they were found.
His female companion had fallen from about approximately 20-foot tall cliff, and he was concerned that she might have spinal injuries, and he indicated that he also may have a broken leg.
It took about 30 minutes to locate the 58-year-old man and his 60-year-old wife. Rescuers say they then started to get them out of the gorge. Once the man and woman were rescued from the cliff, both were transported by train to Elkhorn City. The woman was then airlifted to the hospital. The man transported in an ambulance. The rescue took about 11 hours. Park officials are happy this rescue didn't have a fatal ending.
It's definitely one of the more fulfilling rescues I've been involved with.
In the Break Interstate Park, Alex Casper Peak, WYMT Mountain News.
Park officials are not releasing the names of the hikers. They also do not know if the two are still in the hospital. In Jackson County, a woman is in jail after she told police she tried to burn a house down with her boyfriend inside. A Jackson County constable says Patsy Jones told investigators the two had gotten into an argument and also told them she set the house on fire while her boyfriend was inside gathering his things. The man was able to get out of the burning home. Jones is charged with arson, wanton endangerment, and criminal mischief.
Well, police say a drunken night landed 2 men in a Bell County jail. It happened along Highway 119 near Pineville Wednesday.
Police say a limousine driver, Jason Souders, and his passenger were drunk. WYMT's Caleb No has more on the investigation.
What started as a limo ride ended in a trip to jail for 2 men in Bell County Wednesday night. Deputies say they first noticed the limo driven by Jason Souders swerve across the center line, then they ran the license plate number.
The plates came back being canceled due to failure to maintain insurance.
And after they pulled the limo over, they checked the driver's license.
He was already DUI suspended.
Deputies tell me they gave Souders 4 sobriety tests at the scene Wednesday night, and he failed each one. They also gave him a blood test once he got to the hospital. They're still awaiting the results on that. Souders now faces another DUI charge, among others, and his passenger, James Christopher Jr., was charged with public intoxication and open container.
There was an open container of alcohol that was found in the floorboard that was half filled, and then several that were empty.
They say it's a problem they're trying to prevent.
It's dangerous to have these operators out on the roadway while you're out, also family, friends, or even yourself out on the roadway. To have these drivers out here under the influence, if we see that you're impaired, we will stop you.
Both Souders and Christopher declined our request for an interview. In Bell County, Caleb No, WYMT Mountain News.
Straight ahead on Mountain News this morning, we continue our series on breast cancer.
And ahead in sports, the high school football playoffs got underway Thursday night. The Harlan Green Dragons opened round 1 at home versus Jenkins.
Rain chances return to eastern Kentucky this afternoon with a chilly weekend ahead. Details of your full forecast and a look at your 7-day is next.
You know what happened this way? We have a really, really nice week, and by the time the weekend rolls around,
That is
You know.
Mitchell taking the little stick and poking me in the side right there. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Yes, we're going to do some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening as well, along with a chilly weekend. So we've had an unseasonably warm week. Temperatures in the 70s. Sometimes we've had a couple 80-degree readings.
why do you keep talking about the past, though? It's like you're trying to do damage control for the future here.
You're exactly right, Mitchell, because we'll deal with showers today and then a chilly weekend ahead. And I'm going to go ahead and get to that forecast now and break it all down for everyone. All right, let's get into it right now. Looking at the latest satellite and radar loop over the last 6 hours as Mitchell continues to set me up for failure this morning. Tracking a line of showers with a few embedded thunderstorms working across central parts of the state now heading into Lexington. Of course, those were passing through Louisville about an hour or two ago, bringing some heavy rainfall. But the bigger story this morning, outside of some of the rain before it tracks into eastern Kentucky, is these temperatures. 24-hour temp change map showing some big temperature differences across central and southern parts of the state early on this morning. And of course, that's leading to readings in the upper 60s and even lower 70s across southern parts of the state. There in Monticello checking in at 72 degrees. And that's actually the warm spot this morning as we step outside. Of course, later on this afternoon, we're all warming up into the mid-70s, going with a high of 74 degrees for your bus stop forecast. So send the kids off with the rain gear this morning. They'll definitely need it as we head into the afternoon hours as that rain becomes likely. And of course, that cold front begins to track closer to eastern Kentucky. And we're going to see these showers begin to ramp up, especially this morning, later on this morning into the first part of your afternoon. And live pinpoint Doppler showing some of the more moderate to heavy rainfall now working into the Lexington metro area, closing in on the I-75 corridor. So folks there in Somerset and London, heads up here over the next hour or so. You're going to be picking up on some of that rain activity, especially as you make your way out for your morning commute. Now, as we zoom things out, that strong cold front just to the west, high pressure anchored off the Carolinas, that's giving us winds from the south, really helping pull some of that moisture in across portions of southern and eastern Kentucky from the Gulf of Mexico. And that's really aiding the development for some of those showers and storms. Look at these temperature differences behind this cold front, anywhere from 15 upwards to 20 degrees cooler in about a span of 300 miles, especially from St. Louis, 58 degrees, over to Wichita in the lower 40s. And that cooler air will track into the Commonwealth as we head into your weekend. And it's going to be a chilly weekend, especially for your Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday afternoon looking pretty cool out there. Now, future view, we start things off at 9 o'clock this morning. Scattered showers are going to be possible ahead of this front, but it looks like the bulk of the rainfall will arrive later on this afternoon and into the first part of your evening. Some storms possible, especially embedded within this line as it tracks into southeastern Kentucky. And future view picks up on this later on tonight around 9 p.m. Some of the darker greens, yellows, and reds showing up across farther points of southern and southeastern Kentucky. So a strong storm certainly possible. Not expecting anything widespread severity as far as the weather is concerned, but definitely a strong storm possible with gusty winds and heavy rainfall. Now, the good news is that will quickly track off towards the east later on Saturday afternoon. Clouds eventually clearing from west-east as we'll see sunshine begin to make its return as we head into your Sunday afternoon. So some good news there, but temperature-wise, it's going to be chilly. Highs only reaching the mid to upper 50s for your Saturday and Sunday. And then unfortunately, more rain chances back into the forecast as we head into your Monday and Tuesday. We catch a brief break by midweek with more storm chances back into the forecast for your Thursday and cooler highs in the lower 60s. Let's get a check of the refrigerator art this morning, see what we have behind the magnets. Love showcasing all the wonderful art from the kids here across eastern Kentucky. Nice photos sent in from Brandon over at Harlan Elementary. Time now is 5:41. You're watching Mountain News This Morning right here on WYMT.
This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
While many high school football teams across Kentucky begin playoffs tonight, there was 2 games last night, one of which in Class A, Jenkins visiting Harlan. The classic playoff banner, Tell Y'all's Girlfriends, will be free next Friday night. The Green Dragons honoring former player Mark Thompson, who recently died, and they would honor him in blowout fashion. Fumble recovery in the end zone by Holden Williams, 14-0 early in the first. How about a U-Pike top play contender? Leave the offense on the sideline. Number 5, Noah Busrow on the punt return. 40 yards away, takes it all the way home, 28-0. Jenkins quarterback Darian Sloan under siege all night, buying some time right when you almost have a sack. Finds a man downfield. That's a nice grab for Brady Addington. Also picks up some nice yardage after the catch. This time it's Harlan's offense. Coach J.B. Donahue said, give the rock to Brock. Kendall Brock. Jenkins had trouble stopping the rushing attack all night, but so did a lot of teams this year. Harlan rolls 60-6, advancing to round number 2. Well, the fans have voted, and it is now time to announce Week 10's U-Pike Top 5 plays, the final week of the high school football regular season. As always, we begin at number 5. Castle Hatcher of Somerset connects with Josh Cornett, makes the juggling grab, and then picks up huge yardage after the catch and a win over Perry Central. Mr. U-Pike top play himself at number 4. Breathitt County's James Fletcher Collins runs the trick play to perfection for a touchdown against the Hazard Bulldogs. To number 3, Chatelain Gerald of Pikeville with one of the more impressive runs you will see all season. 68 yards through the Pike Central defense in a Panthers win. Another long touchdown at number 2. South Floyd quarterback Hunter Johnson throws to his favorite target, Andrew Tackett, 56 yards for the score in a loss to East Ridge. And the U-Pike number 1 play from Week 10 from the defensive side of the ball. Harlan County quarterback Jacob Branson gets hit. The ball pops loose. Bell County's Jacob Sutton catches it, falls into the end zone for a Bobcat touchdown. Jacob Sutton of Bell County, the U-Pike top play of the week. Next up in our round ball preview series, we look at the Hazard Lady Bulldogs. Hazard coming off an 11-18 season last year and failed to make the 14th region tournament for the 10th straight season. But with 3 starters back in a quicker style of play, these Lady Bulldogs are confident this year is not only their year to compete in the district, but the region and All-A as well.
We returned, 3 starters, but we returned a lot of kids who had a lot of game action. This year we look to be more of an up-tempo kind of team, rely more heavily on defense than offense.
Well, I feel like we're going to be much a faster team. We'll be able to do more like transition and get up to court. We don't have to rely on a lot of offenses, use our defenses and press a lot to try to get some scores that direction.
Well, I want to see us go far. I want to see us go to the All-A State because we definitely have a chance. Then I want us to make it out of district and into the region and make a run in the region.
I'm really excited for All-A because I think that we'll have a good chance there and just keep pushing for district and hopefully region.
And that is a first look at sports this morning.
Hi, I'm Kara Newbirth, and this is a Boys Town Teachable Moment. We're one of the largest nonprofit child care organizations in the country with professionals that deal with some pretty serious mental health issues. Now, one of those is self-harm or self-mutilation. This is when a child cuts or pokes themselves with a sharp object. They generally will have cut marks on their arms or elsewhere.
For some, believe it or not, it's soothing. Sticking a pin in their arm or making a cut on their arm, the pain actually reduces obsessive thoughts or repetitive thoughts or anxious thoughts that they have, and they experience a relief or a release by doing this.
Another form of self-harm, eating disorders like bulimia or anorexia. Kids with this issue will have obsessive thoughts about their bodies that are distorted. Look for weight loss, poor skin, or loss of hair. And finally, suicide. Now, most individuals want to live, but they're unable to see alternatives to their problems. Those who are suicidal usually give warnings. Look for someone threatening or talking of wanting to hurt or kill him or herself. Someone talking or writing about death, dying, or suicide. Hopelessness, rage, uncontrollable anger, extreme agitation, acting reckless or engaging in risky activities. Increased alcohol or drug use, withdrawing from friends, family, and society, and giving possessions away. Unable to sleep or sleeping all the time. If your child is exhibiting any signs of self-harm or suicide, you should take this very seriously. Professional help should be sought immediately.
For breast cancer survivors, having a mastectomy and reconstructive surgery are often traumatic and emotional. Even smaller tasks like finding a proper fitting post-surgical bra can be difficult.
But Terry Okita has some recommendations on how to help patients be comfortable.
Chris Wilhite manages the Friend to Friend shop in San Francisco. She beat breast cancer 15 years ago. Her store caters specifically to breast cancer survivors in various stages of recovery. For chemotherapy patients, it's a place to find wigs and scarves. Post-surgery, a place for comfortable undergarments.
These are mastectomy bras. And I'm sure 20 years ago you didn't see this kind of design, and they're feminine.
While customers don't have to sacrifice lacy looks for comfort, Wilhite says they do need to find soft, supportive, breathable fabric with no underwire. Fasteners should be in the front, with inside pockets for prosthetics or soft forms.
It depends on the body, on the shape.
But patients aren't limited to post-mastectomy designed bras. Some popular sports bras have all the key features. Breast cancer specialist Dr. Laura Esserman says it's an emotional time and recommends patients buy their bras prior to surgery.
People feel that their whole body's violated. Having something soft and comfortable and just kind of ease you through it sometimes little things can make a big difference.
Wilhite also recommends finding a supportive, nurturing place to shop.
Very important for women to come in and chat, talk, buy themselves something. It's like therapy.
She says helping women look and feel better is itself a bare necessity. Terry Okita for CBS News, San Francisco.
We're tracking some showers and storms working into eastern Kentucky. Let's get you over to live pinpoint Doppler this morning as we scan the skies, and you can see some of the yellows and reds indicating some of those embedded thunderstorms working along this line. It's now heading into the Lexington metro area, working along the I-64 corridor. So folks there in and around Rowan County, just a heads up here over the next hour or two, you're going to deal with some rainfall, some heavy at times that could directly impact your morning commute. Now, 12-hour planner shows temperatures rising into the mid-70s today. Breezy and wet afternoon expected. More chances for showers continue through tonight and into the first part of your Saturday morning. And then we're going to dry things out later on Saturday afternoon and into Sunday as cooler air begins to take over portions of eastern Kentucky. High school football playoffs begin. Very important time for all the football programs here across eastern Kentucky. And if you're heading out, which a lot of people will be, take that rain gear because we're going to hold on to those rain chances through tonight. And we could see some pockets of heavy rain develop across southeastern parts of the state there. So just something to keep in mind if you're going to be attending any games in and around those areas. And look at that 7-day forecast. We're going to deal with some cooler temperatures this weekend. Highs in the mid to upper 50s for your Saturday and Sunday. We're finally drying out for your Sunday afternoon. So some good news there, but more rain chances back into the forecast early next week as temperatures moderate back into the middle 60s. Let's get a check of the lottery numbers this morning. Don't forget tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $159 million, and tomorrow night's Powerball jackpot is $40 million. The time now is 5:55. You're watching Mountain News This Morning right here on WYMT.
For one man, a nameless child helped him make a name for himself.
Kristen Hampton reports.
In a time of joy and thanks, last year Mike Johnson saw it as rock bottom.
I was out getting high for like 4 days in a row, and It was Thanksgiving morning, so I said I'm gonna go down to the parade.
Strung out on cocaine, he was tired and starving and homeless. In a crowd of people, a little boy approached Mike with a bag of food.
The little kid made eye contact, and he came over there and said, "Sir, are you hungry?"
4 little words from a little boy changed an entire lifetime of addiction for a 52-year-old man.
I took that bag and walked the detox with it from North Tryon to Billingsley Road because he seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I've been clean from that day on.
Sobriety was a word Mike never knew much of. His life has been spent in and out of prisons, high on whatever was available. He's now a part of a program at Promise Recovery Network. He cuts hair there for free every Friday. He's in school and he has his own apartment. And he gives much of the credit for all of that to a boy he desperately wants to find.
Even if I knew, I'm tired of saying this kid because I don't know his name, but it's always this kid. You know, it would be fun to know little Billy or, you know, little Steven or something, you know.
A white male, 8 to 10 years old, with his mother and sister pulling a wagon. That description is all he has to go on. He's hoping someone will know this boy. Mike is hoping one day maybe he'll get to know him too.
You know, just a simple act of thank you would be enough for me, you know, to let him know that his actions didn't go in vain. It was a true blessing. God sent me an angel.
In Charlotte with the good news, Kristen Hampton, WBTV, on your side.